Welcome back to the second hour of the Amazon's podcast. I'm Glenn Young, owner of Amazon's Fitness Magazine. Celebrate the female physique. Subscribe to AmazonsFitMag.com. And of course, the podcast is brought to you by GPS Photography and Video. Why photography and video? Because if a photo is worth 1,000 words, video is worth 1,000,000. GPSPhotoandVideo.com and Amazon's Fitness Magazine is a publication of GPS Photography and Video. My guest, second guest, off the Olympia, Freudian slip, off the Atlanta Pro stage. The Atlanta Pro stage.
Don't make anybody mad now. Don't.
There you go. Hey, you got to speak it into existence.
Yeah, I
That's
hear
just
you.
it.
Yes.
My guest, IFBB Women's Bodybuilder Pro, second at the Olympia. I did it again.
I'll take it.
Hey, it's going to happen. Second at the Atlanta Pro, Selyka Givan. Thank you so much for joining me, taking time out. You're so gracious. I really love seeing you on stage.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure meeting you. Got that little candid photo. So
yeah.
I didn't know that you were that close. So you got to network and get out and see by going to the shows and everything. So
yeah.
How are you doing 1 week later? Talk to me.
I'm doing well. I had like a minute to blink and then it's back to the grind. So, it's never ending, but I'm feeling good, coming off of Atlanta Pro. It was a beautiful show. They did a awesome job. This is my second year doing it. And they made some changes and everything, like Linda and Jake Wood and Alex. They did a beautiful job and ran it so well. So it was awesome to be home and have people from my job come out and support and just see and have it at such a beautiful venue. So it was awesome.
So did you stay at the host hotel or did you just commute back and forth to home?
Well, I stayed at a hotel close by, like 4-minute walk, because all the rooms were already booked at the host hotel. Because I like to just be like really close, so I don't need my anxiety high. So
you don't want to be late.
Right.
Do you suffer from anxiety a lot pre-show, or is it just a thing of nerves?
Nerves in general, like public speaking, anything. I'm a natural introvert. I've gotten better as I've gotten older. It was so bad when I was little. When it came time for Easter speeches, I would cry on stage, and my had to come pull me off every Easter because I was so shy. So I've gotten a little bit more introverted as the older I've gotten. I used to do spoken word to music and dance in a Christian hip hop group. So I came out of my shell. I think basketball actually helped me with that when I got into playing basketball to bring me out a little bit more.
Give me a little bit more about your background. I was reading over your bio. You once used to teach.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
I went to Agnes Scott College. Go Scotties. That's what I went there. I was an English major, minored in education, and I taught for 7 years at a Christian school. Loved it. Loved it. I taught 1st through 5th. And that's just where my heart is teaching in general.
Right.
But it was just one day, year 7, I woke up and I was like, oh my goodness, I don't want to go to work. And because I always said I never wanted to become one of those teachers that were jaded, came complacent at their job, because it's such an important job when you are influencing young minds. So it's always good that you're present and actually engaged, and love what you do, so they can pick up on the learning a lot easier and know that you're really there and care for them. So at that same time, I kind of was transitioning into personal training. I had trained myself probably like my last year. I was working as a teacher. I trained myself to look like a trainer, because I know most people are visual. You can have all the head knowledge, but if you don't look the part, a lot of people will kind of just pass you by. So I said, let me get myself together. And once I did it, I went and applied for a job at Bally's in Stone Mountain, Georgia, and that was my first
Okay.
training job.
Huh. How did you like that?
I loved it. I actually was a member there for a long time because my first time I got overweight was when I became a school teacher. And I was like, oh no, because I had my son was little at that time, and I was like, I had to keep up with him. And so I got a trainer. Shout out to Chris Bailey. He changed my life so much and influenced me. That's what ended up making me like, hey, I think I want a personal train. I'm still teaching and I'm still empowering. The classroom setting is just different. My student is different. And so I used that excuse to my parents because of all the money they spent for Agnes Scott. I said, hey, I'm still using my degree, you know? So, but that's how I got into personal training. I've been one since, 2010. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And of course, you had your own weight loss journey, and
Several
every
times.
Amazon is a different story. um, but hey, you're here now. How did you get into bodybuilding, though?
I'm very goal oriented. I love fitness in general. So anything that kind of intrigues me and like, hey, I want to do that. Like American Ninja Warrior, I want to do that. So I'll start training for something like that. Lingerie Football League. Let me get
really.
Yeah, I tried out for that.
What team?
It was first when it came out. It was an Atlanta team.
Okay.
I went to trials. It was wonderful and everything. Like I trained for it and everything. I was heavy into CrossFit.
Really? Okay.
Powerlifting. And bodybuilding was just like, man, I really would like to try that. I would like to do it. I feel like I can do it. Just something else. And I got that bug probably around the age 33 when I was pretty fit as a trainer and everything. But I tried a couple of times throughout my 30s, but it just didn't work out. Like I never even got close to the stage. It was finances. The coach was too far. It was, it was just something. So I always say that God's timing is a perfect timing. So everything just lined up at 40. I was at a random gym that I never go to. And I was always worked out. Now, that's one thing about me. Regardless of what size I am, I always worked out. Always did that. Just for my mental health. So I was at a gym and I saw a team and I'm like, man, that's it right there. That's the team that I want to go to. And I was for Still Fitness. And the gym is Research and Development Gym in Atlanta, Georgia. They have their own gym now. So shout out to them. And I thank God that I joined that team because that's where I met all my bodybuilding sisters that are still in my life now and still influencing me. And I have a large support, huge support to, my bodybuilding journey. So that's how I got into it. So it took about 2 years to get that weight off, to look like something, to step on stage. So started 2019, but did not touch the stage until 2021. So all that time training, dieting, and I started my posing. Alex Hall had me posing, a year and a half, just going over, even though I didn't look like a bodybuilder, I was already getting those poses down and stuff like that. So that was a tremendous help. So when I was ready to step on stage, I was able to, do it, sort of well.
That's quite a story. Teacher, lingerie football league, CrossFit, the women's bodybuilder. Now, were you always women's bodybuilding, or did you go to women's physique first?
So let me tell you the story. So I loved Dana Lynn Bailey. So I was like, man, okay, I want to do physique. Because back then it was kind of like women's bodybuilding. You had to be it seemed like you had to be big, and I was like, well, I don't want to be that big, because just my mindset of weight loss. Like I'm a big girl, I want to be smaller, and so I didn't know too much about the sport. So I was like, okay, so I want to do physique. I tried it and was just full on, just committed to it. And I went to a posing clinic at Jag Fitness, and Monique Hayes, she was the person running the physique and bodybuilding posing portion. And we went through a couple of rounds of posing, and she pulled me to the side. She said, "Honey, you are a bodybuilder. You are about the mass that you have." She said, "If you want to try to kill yourself by dieting down, losing mass, to be in physique, you go right ahead. But you will have a better chance in front of the judges because of your stature and your size as a bodybuilder." And it was like that day, I went back to my coach, said, "All right, coach, I'm going to do bodybuilding." And he was waiting for me to make that decision because he already knew too.
Right.
So I've never been in any other division but bodybuilding. That was my start.
Who's your coach?
Currently, I have a new coach. His name is Aubrey Mormon, Iron Ox Fitness. And the funny thing is, we've known each other for years, even back in the day at Bally's. And our paths ended up crossing again. Once I started working at the local gym that I work at, we both work in the same gym. And so he's seen my bodybuilding journey with my other coaches and whatnot. And he's just always been supportive, give me advice if I ask, because he never wanted to impose on another coach's training. He really respects that and everything. So, I almost didn't know if I was going to be able to compete this year because of my resources. That was the reason why I had to leave my other coaches. My other coach from last year, who did a wonderful job with me for my pro debut. Like, I had an awesome pro debut year, but I just did not have the funds to, to continue paying for the coaching. So God just lined everything up perfectly. And he said, "If you want, we can get it. We can go." And I said, "Okay." It took me some time to pray and decide, but I don't regret the decision because he's made some huge changes in my body that I've never seen before. So I'm happy. My body's just a steady work in progress. That's been my main goal, is to look better than what I did the last time I stepped on stage. And I want that to come across to the judges. I hope that they see, okay, so she doesn't look the same. She brought this up. She brought this down. So just every time you see me, all right, it should be getting better and better and better. Yeah.
And so the coach's feedback that you received was more conditioning?
Oh, yeah. More conditioning. And I think just the way that my legs were built in general, because of the type of training I did for all those years, I just had one big solid thigh muscle. I never had like just separations and whatever. So, because I never trained that way, it was always just powerful movements, just, compound movements. So just steady working strategically, methodically, just angles, trying to get those cuts, and continue to, of course, cardio, diet, that never stops. So it's going to happen. I'm not afraid of patience in the process. I'm not at all. So
how important is your faith? Because you struck me as, and in your routine it came out, and I was like, okay. So,
yes.
how important is your faith in being a Christian?
Well, I'm a PK, so I'm a preacher's kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, my dad's a minister. My mom is also. But I didn't really come into my personal.
All right, stop. So let's back up.
Yeah.
So what did they think when you were in the lingerie football league?
I didn't tell them that. So this is going to be the first time.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, I hope I didn't.
Listen, I tried out for it. I didn't do
it. Well, then as a follow-up, what did they think about you doing bodybuilding?
Well, at this point, I think my parents have gotten used to me after I made that switch from teaching to personal training, because my dad thought, "Oh, no. This is a phase. No. You're going to go back to teaching. No. We're going to let you just figure things out, and you're going back to teaching." But I think once, a couple of years passed by, I'm like, okay, she's really committed to this. And then the next time when I was into CrossFit, I got them watching CrossFit, and it was like, my dad was like, okay, you could do it. So my parents are so supportive, very supportive. So soon I said, hey, I want to do bodybuilding. And they was like, okay, How can we help? And they have been helping since day one, along with my son, my auntie, my best friend, my brothers, my two sisters in Christ, and then my bodybuilding sisters. I love them. Big body beauties.
Good stuff. So you mentioned your son. Did your son ever want to compete, or what did he think about his mom competing?
Well, no, he does not want to compete. He does not even like lifting weights the way that I do. He's a dancer. Right. He's a choreographer. So
okay, he can help you with your posing routine.
We worked together. This was our first time. He was the one that made that routine. So
well, that's great. All right.
Yes. This was our first time we collaborated together on the routine. He did majority of routine, and I probably had like one little 8 count left, and I finished working on it with my sisters in Christ who I used to dance with, but he did majority of it. And so I was waiting for that moment. And I told him a long time ago when I started bodybuilding, I said, you're going to be doing a routine for me. Okay. I want you to get ready. So, and it finally came to fruition. So I was just so happy. So he was in the crowd, and I made him proud. I did justice to his routine.
You look great. Love seeing you on stage.
Thank you.
What goes through your head when you're coming on stage? This was your pro debut.
Last year was.
Mm-hmm. So this is your second pro show.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, let's see. I did Atlanta last year, and I did Tampa right after that. Okay. So this is my third. This is my third pro show.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What goes through your head when you come out there in prejudging versus finals? And I'm talking about from the standpoint, you come out in prejudging, you do well, okay, you can ride that way. But if you come out in prejudging, you weren't in first call outs, how do you handle that adversity?
I roll with it. I regroup. Mm-hmm. I got to come harder. I got to show them something different. It's not over. That's why I tell them it's not over. Okay. And keep myself on a positive plane. And then I also like, okay, if I didn't get first call outs, am I at least in the top where I can do my routine?
Right.
Because that's another important thing to me. Even though I know I don't get judged on it, I don't get points on it. That's my opportunity where I can give my inspiration to the crowd or minister to the crowd. That's why I always pick inspirational songs. Because I don't know any other time I'm going to be in front of such a large audience. So I always want to make sure when I'm in front of them, I bring a good message that will give them hope and inspiration.
And I love the routines because it's well thought out. I think y'all get 90 seconds?
90, but mine went way over. I thought they was going to pull
They didn't come out like the Sandman with the broom.
No. Well, I'm glad I was ready. I was ready.
I loved it. Yeah. I loved it.
Thank you.
So you mentioned last year you did the Tampa.
Yes.
And the Atlanta.
Yes.
Why not do the Tampa this year?
Because I just don't want to do a show to do a show.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I want to make sure I take what the judges tell me, and the next time they see me, they see it. And by doing Tampa, that's not enough time for them to see that.
Right. That being said, you're on the list for the Rising Phoenix. Accept an invitation, yes? So talk to me about that. What's going in that? That's on August
24th.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I'm just excited. I've been wanting to just be a part of that. I watched it every year.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, that has to be just so awesome to be a part of, just the experience. And I literally, I remember watching when Linda and them were, doing the whole list live. And it was just only a few names left. And I was like, I didn't make it. I didn't make it this year. And I like, okay, just settle down, because if I didn't make it, it means it just wasn't meant for me to make it this year. But so as I'm walking out of my bedroom, I'm like, okay, get it together, Selyka. Next thing I know, I hear my name and I'm just screaming.
That's great.
So I really couldn't believe it. And so literally I was crying, and I was just so grateful that they chose me.
Yeah.
So now I get a chance to experience that and hopefully form some new connections, friendships, sisterhood with the other female bodybuilders. Yeah, I'm so excited.
And I always looked at it, and it is an invitational, and it's
Yes.
something to be accepted, first of all,
Yeah.
to the Rising Phoenix, all women show, well
Yeah.
put together, well done. Uh, Evolved from out of when women's bodybuilding was taken from the Olympia.
Yeah.
And so that became you guys' Olympia, thanks to Jake Wood. So
Yeah.
great show. But I always look at it as now that the Olympia is back, Rising Phoenix, prejudging, and then Olympia is actually the finals. How do you see it? Because
Oh,
I think it is a harbinger of things to come. You get a first look, if you will, at the champ and
yeah.
Andrea Shaw
Yeah.
and Angela Yo.
Yeah.
Um, and at the same time, how everybody else that got the invitation, how they going to stack up to the
Right.
best of the best. What
Yeah.
are your thoughts on it?
I agree. You're right. I never looked at it that way, but you're exactly correct. That's what it is. It's a pre-show before the show.
Yeah, at first look, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I feel like it's a good appetizer for the Olympia. Like it gets,
no question before the
oh
main course.
yeah,
Gotcha.
it's gonna be
Yes,
good.
and every year it is, and every year the show has to be bigger. But this is 60 years, and when you look at you know, from point system to winning you're in, it's actually worked out, and I think it has become more competitive, uh, in my opinion, which
Okay.
means nothing. But anyway, but I think we got like 11, 12, and with the remaining shows, you could end up with as many as 15 at the
Yeah,
show to
yeah,
qualify for the Olympia. So, yeah, I'm excited.
yeah. It's gonna be
All right.
good. It's always good. It's gonna be good.
So, what are you just going to show up? You going to show out? What?
Well, it's every show you want to show out for the showdown. You just, every
Good
show
stuff.
you want to do that. So, but no, I really just want to really just basically introduce myself to everyone, shine my light,
Right.
go up and present the best that I can. Um, and, just be a part of making women's bodybuilding look good, you know and drawing more spectators and hopefully even more competitors, just from the presentation, the camaraderie, the competition, all of that. So that's really it. I just want to be a part of, growing the sport, and making people want to be a part of it, either by supporting us or
Hmm.
being a competitor, being a sponsor, or whatever. That's it. That's it.
In your opinion, what does women's bodybuilding need? Is it more marketing? Is it just stay the course and see what happens because it's evolving? Compared to last year, it's better. I think you check the block.
Yeah,
The
I think
improved.
more is it like you said before, it is getting more competitive. I feel like as we continue to bring good packages to the stage,
Right.
good stage presentations and everything, we're drawing more people in. Of course, we need more marketing. Money's always helpful, but the more
Right.
we continue to bring our best, people start to pay more attention. And we're doing that. We're doing that. We're doing that.
So you as a personal trainer, are you going to segment into coaching yourself, or just going to just stick to personal training? And which do you do best? You working with competitors or working with more lifestyle? Or down
I,
in Atlanta, hey, student athletes.
I'm more of a lifestyle uh,
Okay.
um, personal trainer. I like working with the average person and just getting them, back in touch with being familiar with their body, building their strength, being able to function, just daily things, and just feeling better about themselves. One of my jobs, I'm a trainer, and then I work also at the Emory Decatur Wellness Center as a wellness coach. So I work
Okay.
with a lot of um, members that are 60 and up. So that's another demographic. And they are so sweet. I love them. They they want my muscles, but they don't want to do the work because they understand how important, lifting weights and having muscle is for their bone density. I also get to work with cardiac and pulmonary patients, as they're, pre and post op of so it's that job really just blesses me so much, and they have embraced me so much and celebrate me there. I love it. So I always love sharpening my skills, learning new things, challenging myself. So
and at that stage is quality of life. And you see some people in the 80s, 90s, even some centurions, and them jokers are still driving, doing well. Yes. And then a lot of the others are gone, and just, it's something because, and it's the thing as you get older, like how much a person degrades, like when they say you can't drive anymore. Yeah. Or they lose it pretty well, you can't stay at home by yourself anymore. Yeah. And so it can be tough. You don't have that family supportive group. Because no one wants to go to a home or a nursing home, or they don't want to go to a rehab facility. So, what you do, I clearly understand it, and that's good stuff because you can bring them out, and get that quality of life going. It can really be great.
I tell them every day that they're inspiration to me. Like I see track runners sprinting around the track, and I'm like, "How old are you?"
Yeah,
I mean, go with it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I can do this when I get older. Okay.
There you go.
They come in consistently on their days. They do their routine. And I'm like, okay. I said, I'm not lying. I said, you guys really inspire me and motivate me. So it works both ways.
It does. So I'm going to let you out of here on this one. Promise it's the last question. Because it's been great talking to you. And
Thank
great
you.
meeting you.
Same here.
Look forward to talking to you again more. Maybe come back on and talk to me after the Rising Phoenix.
Okay.
You promise? Yes. All right. So looking ahead, give me your short-term and long-term goals as you go from the 2024 season into 2025.
Okay. I'm going to do Rising Phoenix. And if I heard correctly from the Atlanta recap, I qualified for Masters Olympia in Romania.
Congratulations.
I think I heard right. I got to go back and check it. So
good stuff.
If once I get confirmation, I'm gearing up to just go for that. And of course, the end goal, long-term goal, hopefully not, too long, that I touch the Olympia stage. That's what I would like to do. I really would like to do that.
Shows in 2025 that you're looking at?
I have not even gone that far. Besides, my brain is on Romania.
Oh, you're still very much in prep.
Yes.
You get ready for the Rising Phoenix, so I got you.
Yes. So once Rising Phoenix is done, then I can be like, okay, I can map out my plan with my coach. Like, all right. And then we can get things planned out properly.
Selyka Givan, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Same here.
Glad to meet you and glad to see you on stage perform. Loved it. And let's stay in touch. Let me know what's going on and touch base throughout going. And like I said, come back after the Rising Phoenix.
Okay.
And of course, we got to do this photo shoot. So let's make a plan.
We will. I promise.
All right. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Take care. Feed. Okay, now I'm back. All right. Selyka Givan. I'm gonna get out of here before I lose my internet again with storm and strength of that. But Selyka Givan, pleasure to have her on. Gonna have her back again as she's getting ready for the Rising Phoenix. Great seeing her on stage in Atlanta. Great meeting her in person, obviously. And I will echo the same point. Go out and see a live show. Go to the expo meet and greet and see get the best tickets available so you can be up close and personal to see it live. If not, of course, get the live stream, but there's nothing like seeing it live. Coming up in tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, Virginia Sanchez is going to join the Amazon's podcast. She made a recent post about that she was shutting it down for the season, so I can't wait to talk to her about what went into that decision. She, of course, was also on the Rising Phoenix list, so I don't know how that's going to work out, where they would add someone, but we'll be talking to her tomorrow. Virginia Sanchez, 1 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you guys tune in. As always, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. Make sure that you subscribe to both the YouTube channel and, of course, the website, amazonsfitmag.com. If you haven't seen it already, next week is going to be a blast. We got Ania Herreras, who just won the Chicago Pro. You got Christina Mendoza. It's going to be hot as we continue to add more shows. So thankful to all the competitors that have come on the Amazon's podcast. I really appreciate it because if you don't have the content, you don't have any show. And, of course, I will be headed out to Columbus next weekend, going up there to do some shoots and then on the road to the Tampa Pro. But it's locked in stock. If you like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, you see who's coming on next week. And, of course, I'll make the posts on social media, but you'll get alerted first. So I will see you guys tomorrow with Virginia Sanchez. So talk soon.